Welcome. Today I'm going to talk about my bucket list cruises. Join me. Hey there, I'm Nick with Cruise and Family. We are a channel about cruising, traveling, adventures to go on. We have myself, my wife, and our 3 kids who are 10, 10, and 12. And our channel is all about the adventures that we get into. From the opening, you heard me say, today I'm going to be talking to you about my bucket list cruise list. So to put it into perspective, I want to first share some cruises that I've already had an opportunity to go on. Our first cruise, and a normal cruise for us, is like a Mexican Riviera cruise or a Baja California cruise, and that entails those two areas entail Southern California, either from Los Angeles or San Diego, going to Catalina, Ensenada, Cabo San Lucas, Puerto Vallarta, and Mazatlan. I've also done 2 Alaskan cruises. We went to Juneau and Sitka, the Inside Passage on those cruises. We have sailed from Galveston twice to Western Caribbean ports, including Cozumel, Roatan, Belize, Grand Cayman, Jamaica. So lots of Western Caribbean. We also went out of Miami on a Western Caribbean cruise. And we've done a single Eastern Caribbean cruise, which included St. Martin, St. Thomas, and the Bahamas at Coco Cay. So to start off, the first itinerary that's on my bucket list, it might be a cruise that you've already gone on. And if it is, I would love to hear about your experiences. Share them down below, what you liked about it, where you went, all those sorts of things. But that would be a Southern Caribbean cruise. Some of those islands that are in the southern part of the Caribbean, it takes a little bit longer to get to from, say, Florida or Texas, and just having a chance to be able to go to some of those islands would be really awesome. Biggest reason that I want to go on that itinerary is it's part of the Caribbean that we've never been to before. It's something new, all new ports, a whole new places to research and to visit. I love researching about the places we go. I love to learn about the culture and the people and the possible things that we could do while we're in port. So that's the biggest reason that I would love to go on a Southern Caribbean cruise. All right, so now we're at number 6. My 6th itinerary that I would love to go on is a circle cruise around Hawaii. Possibly leaving from somewhere on the coast of California or Washington, either from Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and going to Hawaii and making a circle to see some of the different islands, or even doing a circle cruise where you fly into Hawaii, get on the ship, go around to the different islands, and then get back off in Hawaii. So the reason that this is on my bucket list is just being able to experience Hawaii. We have gone to Hawaii once. My wife and I went there in 2019 and had a chance to spend, I think, 4 days in Honolulu. We stayed in Honolulu for maybe 4 days. We were able to see the city there. We went to a luau. We went snorkeling, and really just kind of spent some time maybe in the city. And I would love to see a little bit more of of the island and to be able to venture around. So having a circle cruise would be kind of like a tour of all of the islands to see kind of which island or islands we would love to spend more time on, maybe in a land vacation. All right, number 5 on my bucket list would be a Panama Canal cruise. Either leaving from a port somewhere in the East Coast and coming to the West Coast, or vice versa, leaving from the West Coast and going to the East Coast. I would love to be able to make that transition from the Pacific to the Atlantic or Atlantic to the Pacific, and going through the Caribbean. Definitely is on my bucket list of cruises that I want to do. The biggest reason that this is on my bucket list is I'm a huge history person. I know the significance of the Panama Canal and its role in like the development of our country and the world around us. So would love to be able to see that part of history. I do know that there are some cruises that go to the Panama Canal and don't make that transit through, and like my father-in-law insists that they don't do it anymore. But I also know we have some friends that were talking about the Miracle, going on the Miracle, going from California to Galveston, and the only way they were going to make it was through that canal. So I know that they still happen, but they're even more. There are fewer and fewer. So I would love to be able to have that opportunity to go through those locks, to be able to see that man-made structure and how we connected that trade route. So I would love to do it just for that reason. So all right, number 4 on my list. 4 might be one that you're like, oh, that shouldn't be on your list. Maybe it's a typical one for some of you. But number 4 on my list is a Mediterranean cruise. Cheryl, our kids, we have never been to Europe, so probably why it's higher on my list. But I would love to go see the Mediterranean, be able to go to Italy and Spain and Greece and all sorts of different places that are there. I know that there are lots of different ports. I know that there are lots of cruises that go there. It just is something that we've never had the chance to go and do. So the biggest reason that a Mediterranean cruise is on my bucket list has to do with some of my time in college. I took a class the class was about the life of Leonardo da Vinci. And we learned all about the world that he existed in and the things that were going on in that area. So, taking a class 3 times a week for 4 months, just talking about this one like part in history really got like my imagination going. I would love to make it into Italy, go to Florence, go see some of those paintings and the world that was described in that time period. So definitely Mediterranean cruise is a cruise that's on my to-do list, and I think that it would be a familiar way to introduce our family to being in Europe. And I know from family they say, "Oh, that's not the way to see Europe," but because we cruise often, I think that it would be an excellent way for us to get introduced to Europe and travel within Europe. So if you've been on a Mediterranean cruise and you have experiences with it, leave comments down in that comment box. I would love to hear about it. Would love to hear about your experiences and your suggestions. So, all right, we are making our way through, aren't we? The next one that I have is a cruise that we almost booked for 2025. We didn't book it, obviously. It wasn't in our preview show, and it won't be happening this year. Probably won't happen next year. But this one, number 3 on my list, is an Iceland or Ireland Northern European cruise. And you probably start to see a theme there. Again, as I said before, we've never been anywhere in Europe. We've never gone to any place in Europe. But I would really love to have that opportunity. And it was kind of a fad or a thing to do. In that like 2023, 2024, like it seemed like a lot of what I was watching was seeing some of those adventures. So I would love to be able to go to do that. And it looks a little bit like that packing that you would do for like an Alaskan cruise. And we've had nothing but amazing Alaskan cruises. So definitely would love to be able to do this cruise. My biggest motivation for going on that Northern European cruise that I just talked about, especially into Ireland, is my family's fascination with Ireland. My parents went there in 2010. They spent like 3.5 months living in a rental home, and they went to different places in Ireland, and they saw all sorts of different things all over the countryside. And my dad had so many stories about the beauty that's there, and I would love to be able to go see that in person myself. And I know Ireland and Iceland are 2 different places, but they seem to get bunched together. And the things that I've seen about Iceland is just spectacular, like the scenery, the country, just the opportunities within that location. So a lot of what I've seen from other people's experiences, some things that I would love to go see. So definitely Ireland, Iceland is on my bucket list to make it out to. All right, we are making our way fast through this. So before I get to number 2 and number 1 on my list, I want to say if you enjoyed something that I've said here, if you've seen stuff on our page and you're not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps us. Share it out to other people, and if you see somewhere that I could improve on, let me know. But definitely hit that like button if you're enjoying my content. And we're here for you. Like if you need things or have questions, please ask. I love to share advice and want that to help. Like not just to come on here and see what I'm talking about, but something that could be helpful for you. So, right. So now we're getting into number 2. Number 2 on my list, and you probably you've heard a couple of different locations, but number 2 on my list is a South Pacific cruise. I would love to make it over into that Tahiti area, south of Hawaii. I've already talked about Hawaii, but going into like New Zealand, all the way over to Australia, a lot of different locations, and this is a much more like general topic, I guess. But I would love to make it to some of those more secluded islands and be able to have that experience to go there, like cross over the international, where we change our wonderful date, the date line. I think that's what it's called, international date line. I've probably got all of this right here. If you're watching it and I just said it wrong, tell me please. But Tahiti is a place. Maybe we'll end up just doing a land vacation, but it's definitely somewhere on our bucket list. So, and the biggest reason that this is on my bucket list is the immense beauty that I've seen from other people and the experiences that they've had in visiting places in the South Pacific. So definitely something that I want to do sometime in my future. So would love to make it out to the South Pacific. All right. Before I make it to number one, I would love to hear what your biggest, most wanted itinerary you have. Where do you want to go? Where would you go if money wasn't an object, time wasn't an object, and you could make it there, and it could be everything that you dreamt of? Where would you go? A South American polar, like, opportunity to go and see the Antarctic. I would love to make it all the way down to the Antarctic and cruise down. The few number of people that have ever had the opportunity to see that part of the world, just being able to be there, experience it, see the beauty. And I know that we've made it to Alaska, but people, this would be like an ultimate cruise, like being able to get into that, have the time to be able to go there, and to experience it really is like a bucket list. This is probably something that we're talking about once Cheryl and I retired and have had a chance to save to be able to go there, but definitely on my list for our future. All right, so that's it. That's my top 7 bucket list cruises that I would do. Maybe some of what I said is on your list. Maybe some of what I said is not on your list. Maybe maybe you have something on as your number one that wasn't on my number one. I would love to hear from you. What is your number one? What are your experiences in some of the places that I just talked about? Give it to me straight. I'd love to hear about it. And that's the beauty of this community, is there's so many people that have so many experiences, and I would love to learn from you as much as I love to be able to put this information out there for others to hear about. So thanks so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. Bye.